Well, hello, 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 Ghoul Fiends. We're back with another After Dark episode. We are the Horror Ghouls. I'm T.
And I'm Megan.
And today we have some movies to spoil for you just a little bit. So I know we normally do non-spoiler reviews, or we don't do non-spoiler reviews, but we don't spoil movies typically for you. But
For After Dark, we do spoiler free, but this time we are spoiling everything. No, I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know how much you're going to spoil of your movie, but I'm going to ruin the movie I'm going to talk about for you guys. So just buckle
Yeah,
up.
I'm not gonna have too much to say, but it is the most anticipated movie of the year, okay? That I'm about to talk to you
You're really
about.
setting those high expectations
I
right
am,
from the gate.
I
Yes,
am, and I'm just gonna get right into it.
let's do
I
it.
finally watched Dinosaur Hotel. I watched Dinosaur
Finally.
Hotel. I watched it like maybe 2 weeks ago or so. And when I tell you it was a very interesting movie. If you saw our last episode from last week, iCard right here. um, our last episode, I said that I saw a movie that had really bad CGI. That is Dinosaur Hotel. So I'll give you the premise. Dinosaur
Like, I
Hotel.
hate to say I told you so, but like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. See, Sienna is desperate to win a large cash prize in a secret underground game show, but dinosaurs begin to hunt her down for the entertainment of the rich and wealthy. Can she be the last to survive the horrific night to win the prize? Who knows?
We're gonna
So,
find out.
right. So, I'm giving you the quick and dirty of this movie. So, first of all, Sienna is a mom of two kids. The kids are horrible actors. No shade to them, but they are really bad. Also, everybody who goes to this hotel that's entered into this contest are women. They're all women. There's no men.
Hmm.
Um, and so Sienna is going through a tough time, basically. And so she gets home to her kids, and her kids they're all having a very weird, stiff conversation. Like she's like, kids, talk. She doesn't even call them by their names. She's like, kids, talk to me. And like a little boy is like, what is it, mom? It's like very stiff. And like she gets this phone call, like she's drowning in debt or something. So she gets this phone call mysteriously that's like, you entered a game show and you can win all this money. And she's like, I entered a game show. She doesn't even realize she didn't enter a game show.
Hmm.
But she hangs up and she says, Mama's gonna go on a game show. And so the kids are like, yay. So
Oh.
anyway, long
Uh-huh.
story short, she can't find a babysitter, so she ends up taking her kids to Dinosaur Hotel. And mind you, nobody knows that there are dinosaurs in this hotel. Okay. They just think they're going for a little game show. And
Sure.
there's four other women that are also entered into this place or whatever, into this contest. And so when she brings her kids, like, first of all, there's a weird floating orb that's like a AI greeter or something. It's like a robot and it's just floating around and it sees her and it's like, you brought kids. And she's like, I didn't have a babysitter. And they're like, okay, well, come this way. I'll take you to your room. So they let the kids come in. Um, and so she gets settled and she goes ahead and she meets all the other girls. The other girls are all nice. It's like different varieties of girls. Like there's one that's like really like slutty looking, and then there's one that's like older looking, and then there's one that's like normal looking, and then there's one that's kind of tough. So they go outside and they see a pterodactyl and it's like, welcome to the game, and they're all like, oh my god, that's so nice, da 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 da. Not to mention though, right near this pterodactyl is a giant T-Rex, and one of the girls automatically gets eaten, so right away. I think it was the
She's
slutty
out.
one, right?
She's out of the
And
game.
so and that's what starts the game. And so they're all like running around, and the whole point of this game is just to survive for the 24 whatever hours. um and there's
I have a question
yeah,
really quick.
go ahead.
So when you're like, wow, this pterodactyl's so nice, are people surprised to see the
Yes,
dinosaurs? Okay. Because I was like,
yes,
if they're like, wow, cool, but they're like,
they were definitely surprised. Oh, and by
okay,
the way, I forgot, the kids are in the bedroom and the kids were surprised. And
okay.
the little boy's like, come here, look. And the little girl comes and looks and she's like, is that a dinosaur? He was like, I don't know, you're looking at it too. I'm like, oh my god. So the kid, while all this is happening, and the adults are all like, "Oh my God," they're like in awe of this pterodactyl, and
Yeah.
the kids are also in awe. But the kids are like, "Let's go find it." So the kids sneak out of the hotel.
What could go wrong? Yeah.
Right. So the women are now inside the hotel, and they're like, "We have to figure out how to survive or whatever." And so raptors start getting let loose in the hotel, and like they're picking people off. Like one other person gets picked off. There's a whole kitchen scene, just like Jurassic Park,
Oh.
where it's people hiding under like the metal tables and stuff, and they're like,
Hmm.
"Be quiet," and then they run out the room. But the raptors find them, and so one by one, all of them get picked off. Now there's one, the strong girl. She really was badass because at one point she shoots one of the raptors in the face and kills it when it's getting ready to eat somebody, right?
Heavens.
And right. And she like goes off to check something out because she thought she heard like raptors upstairs. She's like, how did they get upstairs? So she leaves the group. Now, Sienna, our main character, has been separated from the group running around herself. She comes back and she's like, well, where's the other girl at? And they're like, oh, she went upstairs or whatever. So she's like, well, I gotta go check on my kids. And they're like, but there's raptors upstairs. She's like, I gotta check on my kids. She goes upstairs, she finds out that the kids are missing. So she's like losing her shit. Meanwhile, the kids have gone to a cave. The girl is older than the little boy. So the little boy goes into the cave, and the girl's like, no, don't go into the cave. And then she hears some weird sounds, and she leaves her brother in the cave and runs back to the hotel. And it
Okay.
all of a sudden it becomes nighttime. Okay.
Immediately.
Right.
Hmm.
So um and so at this point Sienna's like, she comes outside, and there's another girl who's also inside. I think it might have been the slutty one at this point. And so Sienna and the little Sienna and the slutty lady are outside. The little girl comes up on the side. And so Sienna's like, save my baby, because she was close, the lady was closer to her daughter. The lady sacrifices herself for because the T-Rex was out there. She sacrifices herself so the T-Rex doesn't get the little girl, and the little girl runs to her mom, and they go back in the house. Now, for a good 10 minutes, nobody mentions the boy. I was like, when are y'all gonna mention the boy? They were in there because it's Sienna, and it's this older lady, and it's the little girl, and the
Hmm.
strong lady is still missing. So um so Sienna's talking to them, they're strategizing or whatever, and then she's like, I gotta go get your brother. Yeah, you think? Like, she's like, where did you leave him? She's like, at the cave. And
No.
so she takes the gun, and she takes a gun and she leaves out, and she tells the older lady, watch over my child, like no matter what. Now, this is where the real Jurassic Park moment comes in, because again, they end of another raptor comes in. They end up running into the kitchen. The woman trying to protect the little girl gets killed. She gets eaten. Okay. The little girl jumps into a cabinet and is trying to shut it.
Oh.
Okay. And she does shut it in time before the raptor comes over to the little cabinet. But I'm like, whatever. So she has a walkie-talkie. So she's just staying in this little cabinet with the walkie-talkie. And she's calling for her mom. Now Sienna has gone to the cave. She's slipping around in mud, and she's screaming for no reason, and she's like calling the little boy's name, and he's like, Mom, follow my voice. And she finds him, and she's like, we gotta go back. And then there's a dinosaur in there, so they're trying to escape this dinosaur. They make it back to the hotel. Okay. So then when Sienna gets back with her son, there's another part I'm skipping, but I'm about to tell you about it now. So the
Okay.
strong lady comes downstairs, and she's like, "Oh, you guys are still here. Oh, mind you, let me go back. Let me go back because I need to set another scene up." So while Sienna's outside getting her son and coming back, we see the strong lady. The strong lady is in a room with a man. The man is the puppet master of this whole thing, so she's in on it. So that's why she was so good with the dinosaurs. She knew how to kill them or whatever.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she's like, "Oh, this is so good." And so they're like, well, who do you think is going to win or whatever? And she said, my money's on the little boy, because the whole rule of the game is anyone who enters the house is basically fair game. And Sienna was already saying, like, my kids are not fair game. And they're like, they're in the house, so dinosaurs can eat them too. So
What the fuck kind
I
of
know,
game is this? Like, oh my God. Okay.
I don't know. So now with that being said, the man tells the girl, she says, well, they're back, they're downstairs, so you need to make it look good, like you know, you're not a part of this. So she says, I know what to do. So she goes downstairs and she starts saying, like, oh, um, she makes a faux pas. Whatever she does, she says something about it being more people than it really is.
Hmm.
Um, to Sienna. And Sienna's like, what did you say? And like she's like, you weren't supposed to find out like this. And the bad lady pulls out a gun and she's like, you know, too bad your kids are gonna have to watch you die or something like that.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they start fist fighting over the gun. The man comes down the steps. Sienna's like, who the hell are you? He's like, I'm the man who runs all this. And he's like real happy about it. So the little orb comes back. Now the orb is in and out this whole movie, and it's like the AI that's basically keeping the game clean. It's
Right.
actually really keeping the rules. Well, because the strong lady pulled a gun out on Sienna, the bad lady needed to die because that was against the rules. So the little orb is like, you broke the rules of the game. Like, you're not supposed to do that. That's not part of the rules. So a raptor comes and eats her. Okay. Now, the man is telling her, well, that's between you and your kids. Because the last three people left are Sienna and her two kids. And it's like, at this point, there's like 10 minutes left for 24 hours or however long they were in this house. And which I think they mess up because at one point they say 24 hours and then the next time they said it was 18 hours. So I don't know how much time is supposed to be for real. So they go outside and Sienna's like, fuck this. I'm leaving. I'm getting in my car. I'm taking my kids. She goes outside. She says, kids, run to the car. The kids run and get in the car. So then the man and the orb and Sienna are facing each other. She said, well, it's only like 5 minutes left. And so he was like, well, you can't leave. You're breaking the rules with your kids. Like, one of you has to die or whatever. And so she was like, oh, but didn't you say the rules were that everyone in the house is a part of the game? Well,
Uh,
you're a part of the game too. And the Tyrannosaurus Rex comes out of nowhere and eats the man. And then the little orb says, time is up. Sienna and her two kids win. And she gets in her car and she drives the fuck off. And that is Dinosaur fucking Hotel. Okay.
wow. Mi-
So
uh,
I, I can't even say nothing.
uh,
I will say this. The movie wasn't necessarily slow. It was very bad acting throughout,
it doesn't
honestly.
sound slow to me, honestly.
Yeah, it wasn't slow. It wasn't slow. It was very fast paced. There were some scenes that were just kind of stupid. Um, and it was some parts like I skipped the part about one girl ran into a car and she was trying to leave, but they made all the cars. Everybody's technology didn't work and they shut down everybody's car for some reason
Mm.
for that time they're going to be there. And she ended up getting eaten too because she had went outside. Um, but like it was just too much going on in this movie. The CGI was trash. Uh, but I know there's a two, isn't there? Isn't there a Dinosaur Hotel
A
two?
Dino Horse?
A Dino Horse Hotel?
Yes, you know, the Dino Horse Hotel.
Right.
I think I saw one. I think someone just told me the other day, Dinosaur
Yeah.
Hotel.
Oh, yeah, it's out. I see it. Dinosaur Hotel 2.
Are you dying to watch it?
I might watch it. It looks like there's army
Ugh.
people involved in this one, so it's a little different. It says, wait, hold on. Let me go look at this thing. This came out in 2022. Wow. It
It
says
looks amazing.
right? It says surviving contestants are reunited in the ultimate game to win $10 million. Dollars. Only one contestant will survive and claim the prize as others fall to the dinosaurs. Now, let me say this. At the end, when the man is outside talking to Sienna, he
Mhm.
says basically, do you think I'm the only one doing this? Do you think that this is like a single thing? Like people are paying around the world to see people get eaten by dinosaurs, and I'm not the only person facilitating this. So that lets you know right there that they were opening it up for a fucking franchise.
Right, right, right.
So, so now, like, no matter what's happening, it could be Dinosaur Hotel anywhere,
My answer,
anywhere.
my answer to that, he's like, "Do you think I'm the only one doing this?" I'd be like, "Yes, yes,
Right? Who the
you
hell
are
else?
the, you are the only person doing this."
Right? Like, who else has fucking dinosaurs? Now, I'm not
But
Sienna,
Dinosaur
and
Hotel, oh
Sienna
my
is
God.
back in that movie. Oh, Sienna is back in that movie. So listen,
Do you think she was like waiting with bated breath to be like, oh, did I get Dinosaur Hotel too? Did I
right?
get it? And then they called her and she was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
Thank
right.
God they called me back. I can't.
This movie got a 2.7 out of 10 on
Mm,
IMDb. It's also unrated,
that's
which is
shocking.
interesting,
No one would pay to rate it. They don't want it. It wasn't worth it.
right? So I mean,
Oh my God, that sounds so god awful.
it it's interesting. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I will probably watch Dinosaur Hotel too. I probably will. Um, I don't think that our good friend Reese has anything to do with it. It's directed by Jackie Bell and writer is Craig McLeary. I know that Reese was a producer on the last
He
one,
was a producer.
but I don't see him right now as a producer. But I didn't look all the way down.
They
So
were cramping his style, and he was like, I can't have you on this next film. You're really getting in the way of our amazing movie.
right. So oh no,
So,
he's still a producer.
God damn it. Why did they
Reese
let him
Frake Waterfield.
make movie things? God,
He's still a producer.
stop
So,
it.
I mean, but he's not the only one. There's three other ones, so he's not by himself at least. But why is it crazy? It says producers Reese Frake Waterfield. Then it says producer again. It says as Reese Waterfield. So you just took the Frake out, and we know who you are.
Yeah,
You're the
like
person who
no,
made
there's
Winnie the
no,
Pooh, Blood and Honey.
yeah, that's all I need to know, honestly. That's all I need to know.
But yeah, so I mean I'm gonna try to insert the flyer or whatever, the poster for Dinosaur Hotel
Oh,
2, because the
gosh.
poster looks badass, right? There's like a hotel or something burning in the background. A pterodactyl's flying by. The T-Rex has his foot on a car that's upside down. He's roaring. So,
I can't. I'm so glad
ugh,
you watched it though.
yeah.
Um, so you gonna rate it for us?
I'm gonna give it some bloody axes. So,
Uh,
oh, this is hard. I'm gonna listen. I actually had a decent time watching this movie because it was stupid and it was like like just brain rotting type material, but it wasn't hard to watch and it was so stupid it was funny and they were really trying to make a movie with this. I can't even lie. So I'm gonna give it a two bloody axes. I,
Okay.
I mean I can't say I hated it, but I'm not gonna ever admit that I liked it.
The
I'm not
one
gonna
picture
admit
you
that.
sent me of the pterodactyl was so funny because
'Cause-
its foot, I zoomed in on its foot and it literally had like its little beep, like its little talons, right? But it looked like someone just took like a stylus from like their I don't know, like
their notepad or
Galaxy
something. Yeah.
S2800. I don't know what we're up to now. I just like drew its little like stick figure feet on it and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
It
whoever edited
was
that CGI right there, it was
oh,
sloppy.
I loved it, but I loved that so much, but I would never watch that movie ever. But two, strong, strong.
Yeah. It's I almost was giving it a three, but I said a three is like generous, and a three would be like there's no reason to give this movie a three. There's no reason. Like even though like I said, I didn't hate it, but I'm never going to admit that I liked it.
Right.
It was okay. Giving it anything higher than a two is just like that's pandering. Like at this point, it's like you just giving it a three because you like dinosaurs or something. And dinosaurs weren't even that good. So, and I don't know how many fucking raptors was in this movie because every time you turn around, one of them's getting killed, but then two more would show up. It's like, how many raptors do you have and where are they coming from? Like,
How many? How
I
many
don't
is
know.
it?
But
No, I get it.
anyway, that is Dinosaur Hotel. So I'm
Wow.
going to give it over to you.
Oh, guys. Guys, I'm going to talk to you today about a movie that came out in 2024 called Trap. Now, again, I'm not going to give you like a even, I don't know if I'm going to do as much of a synopsis as you just did. Like, I don't know because I didn't write anything down. We're just going to fucking wing it and see what happens.
I didn't write anything down. I
That was
wanged it
amazing.
too.
I wanged
Wanged
it.
it.
I'm gonna wang it. That was very southern sounding of me. So listen, I'm gonna ruin this movie though for you. I'm going to. So if you want to see it, just stop right here. But I'm gonna tell you, Trap came out in 2024. It was directed and like written and produced by M. Night Shyamalan. I didn't realize until after I watched it that it's basically an enormous commercial for his daughter's music.
Really?
Yeah. So in the movie, I'm just gonna tell you the little spiely. Hold on. A father and teen daughter attend a pop concert where they realize, hold on, my Zoom's taking up my screen, where they realize they're at the center of a dark and sinister event. And the pop concert is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter,
Oh.
who is playing a character, Lady Raven, she's cute and she acts in this movie and I like her, but there's so much performance happening that we don't need it. So here's the thing. We get Josh Hartnett in this movie, and I think he forgot how to act. I think he forgot. His daughter in it, she does a good job. She's cute, she's whatever. And so here's the thing. And this is not any kind of spoiler because it was in the movie, so it's like, whoa, shit, she's getting right into it. It's in the trailer and whatever. Her dad's a serial killer, right? So he's at the concert with his daughter. He's a serial killer. And basically, um, people think for some reason the authorities believe that the serial killer will be at this concert because they found like a partial ticket stub somewhere. They don't know it's him though. So they're like just stopping random men they think might fit a profile, etc. The thing is, Josh Hartnett keeps disappearing on his daughter and like pissing her off during the concert. She's like, "Why do you keep leaving me here? Like, why do you keep doing that?" So he's going around and like looking for ways out. Like he's not going to leave his daughter, but he's trying to like see what's happening, right? And the people he interacts with, like they're trying to make it out like he's this intelligent, smooth serial killer. Like we've seen people like that. You see Dexter, do you know what I mean? He's
Right.
good at extracting information, wiggling in tight spots and all that shit. Josh Hartnett, who I don't even remember his character's name and it doesn't matter. He is so obviously fishing for information and acting so weird. Like he's acting overly kind with like big eyes. He's like, "Hi, so what's this thing about?" Or "What's this?" And it's weird like so everyone in this stadium knows about this operation going on tonight. Like all the workers are aware of it, right?
Okay.
So at one point, they go to get a shirt for Lady Raven for his daughter, and they don't have her size. So the dad trying to be nice, because he seems like he's a good dad, right? They're like, "Well, I'll come back for a shirt for you later." The guy was like, "I'll set one aside for you because you let the other person have it." So he goes to do that while the girl's in her seat. Now, this is one of many times he's left. He goes back to whatever, and he's like, "Hey, I'm just about to go get some more shirts. Like, I'm glad you came." And the guy's like, Josh Hartnett is like, "Can I go with you?" He says, "Sure." So they go in the back room, and he's like, "Yeah, so there's a lot of police presence here tonight." Like again, so obvious and like overacting,
Yeah.
right? And the guy's like, "Yeah, they have this whole thing, and so crazy that they gave us like a password on the staff. So like if we get stopped, because it's like essentially like stop and frisk for everyone, right? They're like they give us a password, so if they stop us, like we can tell them, and they'll know that like we were not people of interest, right?" So he's like, "Oh, that's so crazy. Like, what is it?" That's crazy. And the guy just gives it to him, and I'm like.
That's so dumb.
But every person he runs into and interacts with in this place, he does that same thing where he's so obvious and everyone's like so dumb and just gives him this information. At one point he winds up on the roof and he just steals like a cook's
Like a jacket?
like a apron. Oh,
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot. Wait. So before that, he was trying to cause a distraction. I feel like I need to go back further. Hold on. Pause. There is a profiler, like an old lady profiler, who's like on everyone's like device that she's like whispering to them about um what this guy's probably doing now. He realizes he's locked in. He can't get out. He probably will try to cause a distraction. He'll probably try to do this. So he's hearing this because he like stole something or whatever. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Um, so when she says that, he goes into one of the little like concession areas and he puts like tons of oil into one of the fryers and it like explodes. So that's when he takes an apron, he goes up to the roof trying to be like, is there a way I can get off of here? Just still like scoping it out. But then all guys show up on the roof and they're like, what are you doing up here? And he's like, oh man, like, I don't know, just working in the kitchen and it was really bad explosion. And they were like, what's the password? He knows it now. And I forget what it was. It was like, oh, Hamilton. Password is Hamilton. Um, and then he gets away. So every time they keep setting him up and he gets away, but it doesn't have that smoothness of the intelligence of other movies and shows like it. It just doesn't have it.
Right.
Um, and it's irritating. So they make it out like the whole movie is going to be at this concert. So he finagles this thing. Apparently, Lady Raven loves to call a fan on stage every show. And he hears about it and he's like, oh, that's the way it can get out. So he goes and he tells an usher his daughter has like a condition. Yeah. And they finagle it somehow. Like it means so much to us to be here because he's still playing this part of like, I'm a great guy, whatever. Um, she winds up getting called up on stage, and then after she gets to go backstage, so he thinks that's like his way. So this lady profiler is in the background all the time talking to people. Have you seen anything? Have you done anything? You keep seeing people being stopped and snatched at their seats, like to be checked out and whatever. So finally, he goes into this room with Lady Raven while he leaves his daughter in the hall. He's like, I just want to talk to you for a second. Like seemingly about something about his daughter. And he goes in, he just confesses to everything. He goes, I think you guys were looking for me. And he drops when he's acting like a regular guy, like he's doing fine. But when he's like into his alternate, like serial killer personality, he's like, well, you found me. Here I am. Like very, again, overacting.
What is he like, Jack Nicholson-ish? Like,
And all he's doing to do that is the way he's delivering the lines, like I did, and just making his eyes big. And I'm like, this is bad. So he's like, you're gonna get us out of here. You're gonna give us the ride out of here. You're not gonna call anyone. You're not gonna do anyone. You're gonna get us out of here, whatever. So she takes him in the limo, and it's like apparent to her that the daughter doesn't know, you know? So she's like trying to be calm, and Josh Hartnett's character is like, you can just drop us here on the corner because they just needed to get out. And they did. And she's like, no. And she says to the daughter, like, oh, do you guys like live nearby? I think it'd be fun to like come to your house and like hang out with you and get to know you more. And he's like, oh, also, I forgot, this is very important. He has an app on his phone that's showing someone he currently is holding captive. And he told Lady Raven as well that like if you fuck with me, I'm gonna release like carbon monoxide and he's gonna die or something like that. So he's like showing her. So when she's like, I'm gonna come to your house, he's like just making faces and being like, my phone, like, is that a good idea? So whatever. They go to the house and a mom is there, their mom, and also she has a little brother, I think. Or maybe not. Did I
so
make
he
that
has a
up?
wife and two kids.
It might just be her. I don't know where I got the boy from. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Okay.
But he does have a wife and he has his child, right? So they're in the house, Lady Raven's there, and they're talking and she's playing songs for them and um trying to like kill time. And at one point, she takes his phone into the bathroom and she's trying to get information. Like she goes live on her own social media somehow, and she's like, "I need help. Someone's holding this man. Like you guys know, he's called the Butcher or whatever, the serial killer. They're holding this man. Um, oh, because she asked him like what he remembers before he was dropped off there. Because she contacts the guy through his app. What do you remember? I need someone to help me find a building it's past a broken line. There's a blue door in such and such area. People start responding. She's like, call the police. He's banging on the door. His family is like yelling and crying because she told them your husband's a fucking serial killer. Um, he makes them like go upstairs and then she goes out and she gives him his phone because she doesn't really have a choice. And he's like, okay, here's what's gonna happen. He's like, I'm putting my hand on your shoulder and we're not gonna go and you're gonna do exactly what I say, right? So they learned through the profiler that I think he was supposed to have like a dark colored car and whatever. So he gets in his wife's car. He's like, you were right, my car is dark colored, but this one's white, whatever. They're in the garage. So she's sitting in the seat and he's trying to think about how they're gonna get out because her limo's still out front, her driver, everything. and she starts telling him these specific things about like that the profiler said. So this is one of the things that's weird because the profiler allegedly told the profile to this pop star. She's like, you probably had a bad time when you were a child and you had a bad relationship with your mother. Like, it doesn't make sense. So then she starts trying to talk to him as if she is his mother. Like, why are you acting so badly? You know that you should, like, it was like a psycho moment. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I was like, why? Why would she be in on this? They would never have an operation of the size and try to like let everyone know everything about it. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Why would they stop a pop star and say, you know what's gonna happen? And like here's how you handle him if he kidnaps you. You just act like you're his mom and and he'll
And
let you go.
all will be right in the world.
No. So he's like, do you really think that's gonna work on me? Like, do you really? Come on, like whatever. He opens the garage door and his wife and his daughter are standing there because they're like, what are you doing? Like, what the hell? So as that happens, the police pull up and they take him into custody. But uh, it's so crazy. Okay, so look. So he's in the house. He goes back into the house. They have Lady Raven in her limo and she's outside. The mom and the kid are safe outside. Pardon my French. He's in the house, and while the police are like closing in, trying to figure out how to get in, he's like, it looks like he's moving stuff off like a false wall in like the pantry or something. So as that's happening, they're closing in. Um, I think they might have took the mom and the kid in a police car. I think they did. And then at the same time, Lady Raven's limo like pulls away because they're like their job is done, right? Um, they go into the house, SWAT or whatever, and Josh Hartnett is gone. Because can you guess where he is?
Where's he in the trunk of the limo?
He's driving the limo because somehow he came out in like his neighbor's yard or something and happened to, I don't know, kill the driver. They don't show what happens to the driver. And like I think he's wearing the hat and everything too. So like where did you get it from? So they're driving and she's like, "Oh shit." But the doors are locked. She can't get out. So they pull into this really busy street, like super packed and busy. It was like people after her concert, essentially. And she's like rolling down the window, and he's, when I say crazy, the street's like mobbed, like Bourbon Street, New Orleans, where everyone's like against the car. Everyone's looking at him. They can see his face, right?
Mhm.
They see his face, and she's trying to roll down the window to get people's attention. Some people notice, so it's even more mobbed around the car. At one point, and I might be skipping details here, I don't know, he winds up actually handcuffing her to like a bar in the car. That might have been before they drove down the street, but whatever. So she can't reach the window anymore. So she's still trying to open it a little bit. Um, and she winds up finally breaking it off. Now remember, he's in the front seat. Everyone can see him. He's fully there. Like
Right. What did she break off? The bar?
the bar. Yeah, she
Okay.
finally, because it was like a little, I don't know, like a decorative bar, like along the limo
Yeah.
thing, like by where the glasses were. But
Okay.
she kept finally like breaking, right? So she gets out and she's standing with her fans and she's smart because there's like protection in that, right? Because they all recognize her. There's almost like a street light shining on her so she feels safe. And then I believe like police showed up too and that someone shoots the door because you see the like the profile and they open it and there's like no one there because, and this is the part that really I was like, what do you mean? I started laughing. Josh Hartnett has somehow gotten out of the car and is standing in the crowd with a sweatshirt. It is not possible for him to have gotten out of that car because think about it. Everyone's
Unnoticed.
everyone's pushed up against it.
Right.
Everyone's pushed up against it. So for him to firstly put on a sweatshirt. Oh, because they do show him noticing like her merch in the seat, and he's like, "Oh, I'll change my shirt," right? For him to do that, everyone would have saw him changing his clothes. But he has to open the door to get out, and everyone's pressed against the car. Like it's just not possible. So it was getting increasingly ridiculous. Um, so then whatever happens, blah blah. The wife and the kid go back to their house. And they're like, we have uniformed people outside, like it's fine, whatever. So she's doing something at the sink, and all of a sudden she hears him talking. And she turns around and he's just sitting in the kitchen and saying, like, whatever. So it turns out this is the big twist of this movie. She knew he was a serial killer and she was in on the trying to catch him, which is not a twist of any kind. It's just like a regular movie like thing that's normal.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a twist. So he starts like freaking out and he decides he's gonna kill her now because of this, which is obviously like everyone would know what would happen because he's missing and his wife knew and like whatever. So he's talking to her and he starts to almost have like a, I don't know, another psycho moment where he's like hallucinating. I think he's hallucinating his mom in the other room, like a few rooms away. Like you can see like her like gray hair and like a silhouette or something.
Yeah.
I think she did throw up. I think she showed up another time in the movie, but it wasn't. It's like whatever.
Weird.
Just like he's haunted by her to an extent. Like not literally, but just he's wacky. So they show that, and then all of a sudden they show that while he's have been having this hallucination, the house is then filled up again with SWAT or police or something, and they tase him. This is the part, another part that's crazy. They tase him, and he keeps not going down like Michael Myers. They have to tase him a million times repeatedly, and like I don't know if they wind up having to bonk him on the head or something because he just won't go down. And I'm like, now he has superhuman strength? Like where, why? What's happening? So then they put him in the back of one of those, I guess it was like a police truck. Like it wasn't a car. And they
Yeah.
show that at one point he stole something off his daughter's bike that's like a, oh God, I can't think of it. Like a spoke from the wheel, and
Yeah.
he actually picks off his handcuffs. And that's how the movie ends because I guess they're setting it up for a second one. God help us all. But the movie, that's basically the movie. The acting was absolutely terrible. Josh Hartnett, like I said, he forgot about himself. The story did not make sense. There were so many plot holes, and it just plain old wasn't good. But let me tell you. So, according to the internet, this one didn't do so hot. This got 57% Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience rating it out of 5 gave it a 2.5.
That's fair.
So people agree with me. Um, someone wrote, hold on Reddit, and this just came up in on a Google search, is one of the things that came up. Poor acting, no character development, predictable and cringy all around. It truly was laughably bad, and it just got like worse as it went.
Yeah.
Um,
I have so many, not really questions, but like comments because the biggest thing was, first of all, the reason why I didn't even want to see this movie was because they showed that he was a serial killer in the trailer.
right.
That was dumb. They shouldn't have done that because
Well,
that
where how
at
many
least
how much can you do with that?
right,
Right.
right. Now, the other thing that's dumb is how the hell did you set up a whole concert where everyone knows that this is a setup for a serial killer because y'all found a partial uh thing somewhere, but you couldn't
Yeah.
figure out who it was from that partial thing. You couldn't track down who bought that ticket because it has a barcode and all that. But anyway,
But also, wait, you just something just occurred to me from what you said. I'm sorry, but I just put this together right now.
yeah.
At the end of the movie, when he was talking about his wife and like her being in on it, she said she knew because of whatever, and she was the one that actually like turned over the partial ticket stub to the cops.
Why didn't
So
she
it's
just
like,
turn him in? That's
but if
dumb.
right, because she felt like weird because it's like her family, but it's like if she was the one that handed it in, why would they not specifically look for her husband? It doesn't that also doesn't make sense.
Right.
Continue. It just occurred to me just now. Go on.
Yeah, so that's stupid. And like it's also just stupid that you have incompetent workers at this place that not only like were talking too much, they gave up the secret password, which was Hamilton, which is dumb. But I mean,
But like literally everyone in there, whenever he was like, hey, blah, blah, whenever he was just like nice to them, but a acting in his weird, like wide-eyed, like, so what is the password? And he's just like a random guy. You don't find that to be suspicious? They made
Right.
everyone who worked at that place so dumb. They made them so
Yeah.
dumb.
And
Yeah.
like the other thing that I had a problem with is it sounds like it was long as hell for no reason. Because every time I thought it should be the end, you kept going for like another 2 minutes. And I'm just like, Joe, this should be the end of this fucking movie. Because like I feel like it dragged on and on and on. Like you said, that one part where, first of all, he got into where did the limo driver go? That's a plot hole right there. You're not telling us where it went. And then you're also not explaining how he got into the crowd. And then that should have been the end of the fucking movie. But then there was more to the movie after that. Because then you go and find out that it's a Mr. and Mrs. Smith situation going on at the house.
Ugh.
And it's like, I just,
And like the
that's not,
profiler, like telling the pop star
oh,
specifically about
I was,
like
I,
how
I
to.
was, I was getting ready to say, that's what I meant to talk about too. The profile, they clearly haven't watched Criminal Minds because that is the king of all profiler shows. And you're not going to profile like I haven't heard. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. If somebody else has heard it, please let me know in the comments down below. But I've never heard a profiler say they're going to drive a dark car. Like, what the fuck? What's that got to do with anything?
Like
Bec-
they'll probably drive a dark car so they can maintain their air of mystery. They probably did this. They're probably going to look for this. They're going to do this. It doesn't make sense, and they wouldn't tell everyone about it. And furthermore, I left out a scene where they were meeting. There was like a huge swap meeting in the building in like the employees only area, but he stole the t-shirt guy, the guy who gave him the shirt swipe card. So he just went in there, went in between everyone, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, I'm just getting some coffee. Oh, excuse me, sorry." And he heard their whole shit he was saying, and it's like
there's no security. Like,
it's so unbelievable. Like between his acting and the way he kept like finagling around and no one like questioned his presence was just like so terrible. So terrible. Um, The only reason I watched this was because it was for free on Netflix. Because we determined, I don't know if we ever talked about this on here. I think we might have when we talked about all the trailers the one time, like for the movies coming out. This movie, because we knew that they already revealed he was a serial killer, looked like it was going to be weird. So
yeah,
we were
we
kind of
talked
like,
about this a while
ah,
ago.
right.
Yeah, it was in 2024 we talked about this. I don't know what movie, what review it was, so you're not getting an iCard for this, people. But
No, no, you're not.
but yeah, we did talk about that, and you're right because it's like, excuse me, why would you show the part that he's a serial killer? Because I felt like it would have been okay had they not put that in there, but that would have been a bait and switch because if I would have went into that movie theater and saw what that was, I would have stood up at the end and booed it because it's like, no,
Boo! No. But between that and Josh Hartnett's terrible acting, he was not believable to be, like I said, like we've seen this done right before. Like we've seen Dexter. Even my friend Lou was telling me the other day, so he just watched Dexter, uh, I think all the way through or most of the way through. And he was saying even in the later seasons, it was like getting on his nerves that Dexter kept getting out of traps when it was becoming more and more obvious that he was caught. He was like, how many more times are you gonna wiggle out of this shit? And that's even when they did it well. Now, granted, we could argue all day about Dexter fell off at a certain season and ended wonky and whatever. This is not Dexter chat. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on that too. But this was done in an hour and 45 minutes and was done so poorly versus Dexter that was done over the series of multiple years and done pretty well, except for some poor writing decisions. So it's like this was like a huge mess. Also, because I just have it pulled up, the IMDb reviews 5.8 out of 10. That's low. Roger Ebert also gave it a 2.5 out of 4. I think that's generous for him. Um, because he's a hater usually. So,
yeah,
but yeah, it was not good. It's not good. So if you're dying to see how terrible it is, please feel free. It's free on Netflix. If this was enough for you, if I have saved you the pain and the torture and the emotional suffering, I'm happy to have done so. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad I watched Dinosaur Hotel over that. I'm glad.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I watched this over Dinosaur Hotel. I want to fucking watch that. I wanna watch it.
Oh my God, because like, oh, this just sounds, it sounds too long. You said an hour and 45 minutes. Like that's too long.
It was, and
That's too
by
long.
by the last probably like 45 minutes, I want to say, I was just like openly laughing out loud. Like it was like, what? This is ridiculous. So yeah. So
So,
that's my thing of Trap. Also, so I just went to the movies the other day and I saw a trailer for another Josh Hartnett movie that's coming out. His acting looks a little better in the trailer than this one did, but I'm not gonna see it anyway because it looks like they're trying to make him like a action hero. And also he has bleach blonde hair for some reason, but dark
I
brown eyebrows. It's a weird look. So yeah, I won't be
well,
saying that. Don't remember what was called. Don't care about it. So
so how many bloody X's does this get from you?
see, so now I have a conflict. Here's my conflict, right? You just rated Dinosaur Hotel 2, and it had the absolutely atrocious CGI. So it's like, does this automatically get to be a little better because there's no terrible CGI? Like,
Here's the thing though. We are two different people and we rate things differently all the time.
I know
So you and also these two movies are not in the same genre.
they're not.
So it doesn't matter. If you rate yours, let's say I'm just putting it out there. If you rate yours a seven, then that's
Yes, Trap gets a 7, everyone from me. It gets a 7. No, it doesn't.
but
Um, okay. No, I know. I just feel like weird because it's like, but I guess we're not comparing them,
no,
right? We're not comparing them.
no.
So Trap is gonna get a 2 from me as well. Trap gets a 2. That was the hottest garbage. Not the hottest garbage, but it was hot garbage. It was smelly garbage.
I'm gonna have to check and see how many stars you gave whatchamacallit.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, Blood and Honey. And I
I
have it
told
written
you
down somewhere, but
when you started telling me what some of our old scores were, I said I wish I would have rated it lower. And I stand by that. Winnie the Pooh should have been a 1. I gave Winnie the Pooh today on the 20th of April. That's not when you guys are going to see this. That's not when it's coming out. But today on the 20th of April at 12:10 a.m., I gave Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 1 bloody axe.
and now you see
That
this is really after dark because she didn't say 12:10 a.m. So we are filming at night, people.
it is
Um,
it is
but
deep in the night
but
and
I mean, Trap just barely, narrowly beat out Blood and Honey.
it just was so bad. There was nothing redeeming about it for me except for I liked the acting of his daughter when it was time for her to act. I think she was like she's really
Which
beautiful.
daughter? M. Night Shyamalan's daughter,
Yeah, yeah.
or okay?
M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. Even everyone else acted fine. Josh Hartnett was no, it was bad. But she was good. I haven't seen her in anything before, but apparently she is actually a real singer. But again, even him using the the movie as a platform for his daughter to keep showing music
That's
number after
weird.
music number, even
Yeah.
though she can sing, even though she's very pretty, even though she can act, it was deeply nepotistic. Um, but Josh Hartnett really is the I said this to you yesterday about something else. Oh, I remember what I said to you about, but I'm gonna say it to you today about this. This is a pig, and they tried to put lipstick on it, and it just no, just came right off. It came right off. The lipstick is not on the pig. So that's my score. Yes.
This makes me wonder because we also know that his other daughter, um, I think her name is pronounced Ashana
Yes.
Shyamalan. She made the movie The Watchers, which I wanted to see. It had Dakota Fanning in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked very interesting, but I heard that was a floppity flop too. And so I'm curious to see if that's as much of a flop because in 2024, those two movies were competing against each other for horror stuff because they both were categorized as that. So
I feel
I'm gonna
like
have to look and see.
I feel like the Watchers. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna see where it's
Oh, she's
playing.
in Ireland. See, like, just like looking at the Watchers, it's not really like doing anything for me. I don't feel inspired to watch it, but I do wonder how it stands up next to Trap.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in
And
because
like, I
I
don't know.
know.
I really don't like looking at it. Honestly, I don't want to watch it, but I might have to watch it because I need to see what happens. Like, I don't know.
So
But
I'm trying to see, is it anywhere for free? Um, Prime Video stream with free trial, so it might be on Prime.
The Rotten Tomatoes score is lower than Trap. It's 33%. And Roger Ebert gave it 2 out of 4, so a half point
Oh
lower.
wow.
IMDb is about the same, but it does have higher audience ratings. So out of 5, they gave it 3.4 instead of like 2.5. Um, so it seems like they would almost kind of even out next to each other, kind of. So I don't know, but
Let me
like it
see.
said, so it just came up on Reddit. It says critics' consensus heavy on eerie mood, but undone by an obtuse script. So this person's getting very artsy in their
Right,
description.
obtuse.
This was totally obtuse. Like you're obtuse, critics' consensus. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Um, Roger Ebert says The Watchers lacks creative vision and guts, with only a clumsy script to fall back on, riddled with vapid dialogue and wishy-washy commitment. So he was really tearing that shit
Vapid,
apart.
good Lord.
Wishy-washy commitment. He was questioning their commitment. So
Yeah,
the
and
Shyamalans
Watchers,
aren't doing too good.
no. Watcher looks
No.
like it's free on Max, so
I don't want to do it, but like I might. I don't know.
yeah, I might watch it just to see. If I don't have anything to do and I've taken my Docalex for the day and I need to stay near a toilet, I will go ahead and plop this on.
That's a great choice of words.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so that's gross. That's
yeah.
gross.
I'm not taking any
Um,
Docalex, people. I'm regular,
I
thank
didn't,
you.
I
I
wasn't
even have
actually,
fiber. Oh, I know you weren't talking about me, but I'm just saying, just so
she's
you
like, just
know.
a side note, just a side
Yeah,
note.
I eat my fiber.
Good for you. It's good to
Yeah,
stay healthy. Keep things moving the
right.
right way.
Unlike the Shyamalan movies.
Oh,
So
God, they're really just rough. But I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to. Until Dawn comes out next week, which I don't know where this lepisode is going to land, but
this will
that
be
is
after. It'll be after it comes out.
after it comes out. So I think it comes out next Friday, so like the 25th, maybe. I'm excited to see that one because it looks super spooky, and I'm gonna see it probably at some
Mm.
point.
I'm gonna definitely see it. Because like I had said before, I love the video game. I think the video game
Right.
is great. It is Hayden Panettiere that's in the lead role, one of the
Oh.
lead roles for that video game.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly like if you're interested in it or you because the movie's not going to be like the video game, but if you're interested to see how the game is and you can see the creatures in the video game, I would suggest giving it a watch. It's very reminiscent of the creatures are reminiscent of the ones for A Quiet Place. If you've ever seen A Quiet Place,
Mm.
they are move as fast as those creatures do, but
Oh.
they're not necessarily attracted to just sound. I think they can see you too.
Great.
So yeah. So yeah.
I I just like the word creatures. I don't know. I just like that word,
Well, you like
creatures, and
creature.
I do like Creature of the
Hmm.
Black Lagoon, everyone. If you're not into the olden horror movies such as myself, I do my Care Bear, the green one. Whoop, that's a creature from the Black Lagoon Care Bear, everyone. Look at that shit. So yeah. Oh, and also there's a creature from the Black Lagoon action figure box back there, if you could see it, behind Frank and Bear.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just have a room full of normal things here. It's fine. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Do you have any other thoughts or anything you would like to share?
No, I think I'm good. I think we saw two phenomenal movies and we rated them appropriately
Two real
and
winners.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Mm.
know. So,
All right, sounds good. Well, then that is going to be it from us, the Horror Ghouls, After Dark. It's truly nighttime now. So we will talk to you next time for our next riveting movie adventure.
yes indeed.
Bye.
Bye guys.